Yay. Hi, everyone.
Yay.
Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Mama.
Hi.
Hello, Angie. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
It's been a while.
Been a long time.
It's
Because I
good to
usually
see
work on
you.
Thursday nights, but I don't anymore.
Yay. Hey, Joanne.
Exciting.
Yes, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. Hey, Robin. All the names I recognize. Bethany and everybody I don't know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm very happy to see everyone. And here's another person. Yay. And my voice is back, so I don't sound like an
Yay.
85-year-old smoker. Yeah. Last week I had no voice. It was terrible. Ugh. And it didn't come back actually until like yesterday. So it's been crazy. Um, I'm very excited. Jane mentioned while we were talking before I let you all in that we had met at which conference was it actually?
It was in New York in
Was it New York?
2022. It was
Oh my
after
gosh.
COVID. Uh-huh.
Right. It was after COVID, the first live in-person conference, and we actually looked at each other like, "You're a real person."
Yeah.
That was very exciting because
Yeah.
we had just met on online and
Mhm.
everything just it's cool when you meet people that you only see in little boxes and then they're
Mhm.
real people and it's really nice to see that. Um so I have been following Jane's career, and she was a teacher, and then she retired and got her PhD, or
Wow.
got your PhD and then retired, and you write for Scholastic and you write for all these arts magazines, and then I saw that she was repping Canva, and I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing. So I decided to give her a little outlet or a platform to tell us all about what that's all about, because I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Canva before, but it's a very cool free design platform, program, I don't even
Yeah.
know what to call it,
Yeah.
online. Anybody can use it. You can, if you pay something, I don't even know what it is, you get upgraded and then you have access to more stuff.
Hmm.
If you're an educator, at least in New York City, we automatically get the upgrade,
Oh,
which
nice.
is really nice. And it's very cool. It makes designing flyers and invitations and business cards and banners and whatnot very, very easy. It's easy for us, and it's probably easy, really easy for the kids. It's very
Hmm.
user friendly.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do your sales pitch for you.
You're
So,
fine. You're doing great.
I
Keep
like it.
going.
I've used it for a lot of things in-house and personally
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Jane Montero.
All right.
And
Thank you,
I will,
Stephanie.
sure,
Yeah, it
I'll
was
spotlight you
really,
for everybody and take it away.
thank you. Yeah, it was great meeting Stephanie because we sort of connected online during COVID world. And then when we saw each other, it's always so funny when you meet people after seeing them on Zoom. You have no idea like how tall people are or
Right.
anything about them. And I'm tall, and I kept meeting people in New York that I'd only met on the screen, and we were all like, "Oh my God, you're so tall!" Anyway, so I'm happy to be here. I'm going to share my screen. And my
Yes.
plan is I'm going to go through all of the things that I've done with this stop motion animation on Canva. And then you'll have a chance to play around on your own. And then I'm going to, if we have time left, I'm going to show you something else on Adobe. So before I start, see, Adobe and Canva, they're like neck and neck. You like what
Yes.
one does, then the other one does, and then what one the other. So it's kind of funny to see how one reacts to something the other one has done. So I kind of fell into Canva years ago. My original
Mhm.
background is design. I was an art director when I graduated from art school. My husband was a transportation design major. We met in art school at Art Center College of Design. So I've always been more graphically oriented with design, so it was kind of a natural fit for me to kind of glom on to Canva. So let me share
Quick
my,
question, just
yeah,
quick question because you mentioned it.
yeah.
Do you find that Canva is much more user friendly for a novice? than Adobe.
I think it's easier to figure out.
Yeah.
I think Adobe for me has always been a little bit confusing. Now, if you talk to Tim Needles, if any of you know Tim, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
Well,
he's like,
he's
you
in
know,
his own
Adobe
special,
expert,
yeah.
right?
Oh my
And
God. Yeah.
yeah, so it's interesting because I've gotten used to a few things on Adobe. I don't do Photoshop. I
Hmm.
don't go that route. I do some of the basic Adobe things. Like I said, I may be able to show you. We might have some time.
Okay.
Okay, let me jump over here. We are going to play share the screen now, and I'm going to play going big like this. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to apologize for two things ahead of time. If you hear a dog barking, it would be our lovely golden retriever who's asleep on the bed in here. Hopefully, she'll be okay. If you hear the phone ring, it's probably my mom. She's 88 years old and lives in California. I said, don't call me between this time frame. So, otherwise, I think we're good. Okay, so let me tell you a story about what happened here before I show you these. Yes, I retired last June. I had taught 36 years of primarily fifth and sixth grade art. So I straddled elementary and middle. And when I retired, one of my good friends was retiring from a local university. Just we're in Ann Arbor, but not at University of Michigan.
Oh,
She was retiring from Eastern Michigan. And she said, "Hey Jane, I'm going to retire." And I said, "Well, I think I am too." And she said, "Well, do you want to apply to teach my courses?" Because in order to teach her courses, you have to have a doctorate. You could teach lower level at a university without a doctorate. But she said I could take over teaching the pre-service classes. And I said, wow, this might be kind of cool. So last fall, I taught two courses. One for pre-service art educators. It was their last class before they student teach. They're student teaching right now. There were 12 of them, lovelies. And then the other class was Art 220 for the non-art ed majors, but they're education majors. Well, here's the thing. For a lot of them, they had not had an art class since maybe sixth grade. So granted, they're very adult in thinking. Their design ability and their artistic ability was more like what I was used to teaching. So they're
Oh.
the ones who I had do the stop motion video. But I
Hmm.
tell you what, I was doing this and thinking my sixth graders would have been all over this, right? So let me kind of show you. I'm going to try to see how this goes. What you see here are some screenshots of some of the stop motions, and I have plenty to show you. So, super briefly, I was born in New Orleans. My dad was in medical school at Tulane, and I have an older brother. He and I both were born there. We moved to Virginia. That was his first official job as an orthopedic surgeon. In 1973, we moved to California. Then I went through junior high and high school, college, three colleges in California, UC Davis Art Center, and then I got my master's at USC. We had young kids, they were like 1 and 2 years old, and my husband and I moved to Michigan. So we've been here ever since. So the 36 represents how many years I taught. The E represents Eastern Michigan. And yep, as Steph mentioned, I'm a Canvassador for Canva, and that's a non-paying job. I do not receive any money or anything for what I say or do. Nothing I do has to be approved by them. It's just something that I do on the side. Okay, so
Wait, you forgot to mention how much you love and travel to Spain.
oh well, yes, because my husband's family is all from Spain.
Okay.
Todos sus primos viven en España y es muy importante para mí hablar en español. And I
Oh
gotta
my
tell
God.
you, I try so hard. I have a private tutor, not my husband. Every week, she's fantastic. She's from Mexico, Aguascalientes, and we just talk for an hour in Spanish.
I love
Wow.
Otros también hablan
I
español.
sí, es muy importante. Porque sus primos no hablan inglés.
Really?
So when I go to Spain, I have to know how to speak a little bit, but we go every summer. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So I wanted my students to understand what stop motion is and a reminder about what it can be. So I'm going to let you know ahead of time, this may be kind of loud or it may not be loud at all. So I'm going to play this. This is a little clip here.
Okay, let's go. Whoop. do that? Yeah!
Freeze! I'm freeze. Hey!
So see, this is what we typically think of when we think of stop motion, right?
Okay, let's go! Whoop. Hoo. Tuh. Eh.
Come on, kids, let's better.
Whee! Woo, woo, woo. Go Bluey! Yeah!
Sausages are ready. What? How'd you learn to do that? Yeah!
Freeze! I'm freeze.
Do they have to edit out by hand all the wires in every frame?
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
so
God.
this is kind of how we think of, like claymation, that kind of thing. So that was to me a very helpful sort of beginning to show students. And then from there, I'm going to scoot to this one for a minute. Okay. I searched, and I don't know why I searched, but I wanted something that could be interactive for my students. Media arts is not my area of expertise. I have done a lot of video editing of my own things, but I've never really put this type of thing together. So I searched on Canva for a template on stop motion animation, and this is what I found. And I showed this whole thing to my students. So I'm going to go through this with you. I did not create this part, but I took this and turned it into what I do. So with that said, oops, hold on. With that said, let me back up a minute. Here's the definition of stop motion, right? It's a technique where you take a series of photos and where you move objects slightly, right, between each shot. And then when it's played in sequence, it all kind of comes together and looks like movement. So it's old, it's an old style, but it's been used in films and, as you know, storytelling. So this is why I thought this would be so cool in the art room, because when we have students tell stories, what does that look like in an art class, right? So this was kind of a great way to sort of encapsulate an idea. I had my students select a theme for all of their assignments last fall. So this story had to be based on their theme. Okay, so let me move on through these next ones. These are not ones that I created, but you can see how they're moving. And what happens is there's a still shot, and then you go to a new slide and you slightly move something. And then you go to a new slide and you slightly move something back, or forward, or up, or down. So if you look at this one, you can the one with the faces, you can kind of see how they move. They've changed it. Okay.
But they're blinking. How do they blink?
So one eye open, and then the next screen, they're going to be their eyes closed. And then the next screen, they're going to be open, and the next screen, they're going to be closed. So you have different drawings. I don't know if this one was hand drawn. I don't know anything about this one, or if it was done on a computer. This one, same thing. Look at some of the hearts.
They're blinking.
So again, one picture with one set of hearts, another picture with things slightly changed, another picture back to the other one, and then you fiddle with the amount of time, the transition time for your slides.
And
So
this-
these,
sorry, I was just gonna say this just looks like typical animation. So like
Yes.
drawn or cell animation.
yes, exactly. Yep, yep. Here's some other things I like to show students, right? This works very well with when we talk about correlations with curriculum, things with counting, numbers, and math. So you see the one with the 4, and it started with a 5. The 4 stays still. Each new frame has a different number. And then you just put it all together into an MP4 file. So it's very easy to do this kind of thing. So this leads to setting it up as a digital design, which Canva makes it very easy to do. So what I had students do, we brainstormed. I said, what's your theme? So one of my theme examples was the rainforest. We had done other work. I had done a watercolor painting based on the rainforest. I had done all sorts of other things related to texture and how to use different oil pastels. All of that was related to the rainforest. And then I said, now we need a story about your theme. So I needed a story about the rainforest. So you break these down into small sections. So these are a couple of examples of what they have on here. Kicking a ball, right? It's just moving the ball at one point, moving the shoe at another point. You could do this with skiing downhill. You move a skier, you go to a new slide, you move a skier, you move a skier. Same with the plane flying. The plane is here, the plane is there, the plane is there. You know, so it's an easy way to get this once you see how it comes together. All right, so I did not have my students draw their design because I wanted them to get right into it because we were going to use elements on Canva. Okay. So here's what I'm
Question, Jane. We have a request. Would you possibly be willing to share this presentation with
Oh,
us?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. So frame one is like your first setup, right? And then frame two, you can see what they've done. They've flattened out the shoe. Frame three, they've moved the ball away. So you kind of see how you can kind of progressively build this story. And don't worry, again, I'm going to go over this whole thing. So when you start, the most important part of starting this is to get a good background image. And I will show you how I did that with mine, just using elements in Canva. You can just search. I searched rainforest background. And then I just picked what I wanted to have behind there. So again, here is their example of their simple background. That background stays the same the whole time. The only thing that's changing are the objects. Because if you start changing a background, imagine what's going to happen. Your eyes are going to be jumping all over the page. You just want them to follow the action. You're going to duplicate the slide. That's what's so beautiful about this. You duplicate the slide and inch something over. Duplicate the slide, inch something up. Duplicate the slide. It's just Control D. It's Control D. You'll see when I show you on mine. Okay, so again, back to this. You're going to keep duplicating it. And I told my students to think of the whole page as a canvas. And so you want this to have a good composition, a strong composition. If something comes up from the left at the bottom, maybe something else comes down from the right. Things can get bigger and go off a page. Things can come onto a page. So it's sort of like a whole sort of creation out of your one main idea. And the ideas don't have to be super deep. Really, they don't need to be super deep because it would take you a long time to develop that for this type of activity. If you want to make yours super deep, go for it. But really, it's a lot when you see kind of what it takes to put it together. Okay, so you can see now, if you sort of follow the numbers here, how things change. They're incremental changes. Look how the ball between 1 and 2 just slightly moves. And then in 3, it's moved more and the shoe's lifting up, right? So this is a good thing to have students study and you go, what do you notice changing? Because something as simple as this, it's easy to see. And you can get quite complex in how you have yours set up.
Did you give them I was just going to ask, did you give them parameters for a time limit and how many frames per?
Yep.
Yeah.
I required 30 frames. And then if you put it at 0.2, that ends up being about 15 seconds.
Okay.
Which seems like that. And you put all this time into it. But again, you'll see when I put it together. These were just things that really helped me when I was figuring out how to teach this. You know, because it's one thing to have this great reference like this that I found. But I didn't make that up. So I had to figure out how to teach it. So I took this and then I just made it my own, you know, and basically this is good information. We're going to add audio because the music is free on Canva and it's already been royalty free checked. You don't even have to worry about that. And then you can download it as an MP4 file. That's how I have my students submit it. That's the sharing part. See, I'm even ahead of these slides. Now, curriculum integration. We all know how much our admin love it when we say, oh, I'm doing this art lesson that's related to science, or I'm doing this art lesson related to math, right? They love that. And it makes you seem super smart because you figured this out. And we are smart. Okay, these are some ideas. Literacy, right? Think about this. You could have students make a stop motion animation video on a book they've read or on a chapter they've read. You can do this in math. They could relate something to counting and numbers, and maybe they use objects to create some math situation. Science is perfect, and the majority of mine from last fall, because remember, those are non-art ed majors, they were very science-based. Animals, geography, weather, things of that sort. History's cool, right? Ancient civilizations, that's 6th grade social studies, at least in the state of Michigan. And I would always have my curriculum as much as I could relate to that. Geography, again, that's a very popular topic. Visual arts, you know, I'd be curious to see what somebody came up with that, because my students were not art ed. None of theirs were related to art.
Mhm.
Here are a few more for you. Maybe they could figure out a way to illustrate something related to music. Technology and digital media, well, of course, that's what we're doing. Health and well-being, right? So these are just some good, language. I should do that. Physical education, like the soccer ball. I was thinking about this with like basketball or volleyball. And religious studies, be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful, be careful. Okay. This was their challenge, to try to create something on your own. And I did. And I'll show you mine in just a minute. So I'm going to get back to my slides. Those were theirs. We're not done yet. So these are my notes that I condensed from all of that information. You don't have to write these down. You can have a copy of this. So I had students open a blank presentation. I'm going to show you how to do this, but just so you see what's coming. They searched for an element for the background. They considered the entire slide like I talked about. They consider size, having things bigger as they move across the page. Aim for 30 slides, add a title and an end slide, and then set the timer at the top bar to 0.2 seconds. Apply to all slides, and then you view what you have. If you like it, select audio. If you like that, download it. So those are basically the steps. Now I'm going to go into some of my examples, and these may start right away, so I apologize if they do. And there's music. Okay, so, hold on, back up. Okay, this was my attempt to fulfill that challenge they gave. And what I did, I'm going to play it again so you can see it. I figured it would start by itself, and I didn't want it to. What you see happening is my little van comes in from the left, that would be stage right, and then people come in from our right side, and then there's a balloon up above. So I tried to make it a full scene. So let me back up and you'll see. Oops, hold on. Okay, now it starts on the left with the car. So see, so they're short. That's very short. That's shorter than what I had my students do. But that helped me understand the process. Okay.
Robin is asking if you had to teach them how to use Canvas, or is it really instinctual?
It is pretty easy to figure out if you do it yourself first. It's using the presentation like a Google slide. It's using a presentation slide. And again, I'll show you how to do that. Some of my students, they already had student accounts. And when I taught at 5th and 6th grade at Creekside, even though we weren't doing this yet, they had Canva accounts because they were students. The first time they sign on, you may have to go through some clicks. You do not pay anything. You do not have to do anything. Privacy, you just put your name in, you put your school email. And then if your school has it okayed, great. If your school doesn't, talk to your tech person. That may be easier said than done, but depending on your district, but talk to your tech person, talk to your admin, show them what you want to do. because soon they will see, I mean, digital arts are so important. They need to know how
Yeah.
to do some things. So
In
I'm
your
gonna,
instructions, I'm sorry I keep
yep.
interrupting you.
No, you're fine.
You said the first thing you said to do was open up a template, right?
Mhm.
Now, when you're searching the templates, do you specifically say stop motion animation template?
Mm-mm.
So what
Mm-mm.
are you searching? What kind of template?
An education presentation, it's going to be blank. And I'm going to show you that right after I go through these so you'll see
Okay.
how to do. I'm going to go to Canva and show you step by step how to set it
Okay.
up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This next one is my rainforest one, that one that started accidentally before. It's probably going to start accidentally again.
Mm-hmm.
But here we go. So you see, I had stuff coming in from both sides. Let me go back to the beginning. Sorry. So it starts with the macaw coming in from the bottom, and then I have another macaw coming the other direction. I have a hummingbird. Might have had a quetzal. I'm not exactly sure. So let me show you one more time. Butterflies. And my end went on a little bit too long, but that gives you a good idea, and that's 30 slides just for that
That's
little
30
bit.
slides?
Just for that little bit.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and students get really into the weeds on this one. They really like it. They really get into it. So let me show you a couple more. These are going to probably open on their own. Student example number 1. See, look at the birds coming in. See, wasn't that cool? Okay, I got a couple more. I love this one. Look at the frog. Okay, a couple more coming at you. Oh, this one. Everybody dances to this. I mean, that's our nod to the Winter Olympics. Okay, I had to put that one in there. All right, a few more here. They go fast. This one's really cool. Look at the details. Very fun. And her theme was reading. And so she said, is this gonna, like, am I gonna be able to do this? She wanted to be a primary grade teacher. I said, sure. And she did this lovely, lovely solution. And I think I have just 3 more. And these, like I said, these go fast. I love this. See? So that was the shortest one. But how cute you could have students do like a how to make something.
Mm-hmm.
That would be kind of cool. And So there's a science connection. The last one I have is one that I put together as my sample earlier this week when I was reviewing for this. And so it's kind of my last little one, and then I'm going to show you how to make these. See, so short, very short. So now let me back out from here. Okay, everybody still with me? Can you still see it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring this down for a minute.
All these
Okay.
images and elements are found through Canva.
Yep.
They
Yep.
didn't draw any of them themselves and upload.
No, and they could have.
Right.
They could have, for sure. You can also use Magic Media, which is an AI Canva app, to create your own background. I can show you that too. Okay, so you see my messy thing here. You see all these things I've got going on. All right, so when you go to your home page on Canva, you will see this thing up here that says, what will you teach today? And I'm going to go to this presentation button right here. Okay. Basically, it's like you're creating a slide presentation.
Okay.
So I'm going to click that button. And you're going to get a page like this. Okay. I just clicked to get rid of that stuff on the left because I didn't need it. So to kind of go after my idea of that garden, you're going to go to the elements. So here's what I always tell students, and I don't know how familiar you all are with Canva. So if I say things you already know, that's fantastic. If I say things too fast, just kind of hold on and watch, because I tend to get excited and go. So one of the big differences between Canva and Google Slides, for example, you could do something like this on Google Slides. I just personally find Google Slides archaic, and I can't get things as fast as I can on Canva. That's all.
Says the woman who was absolutely in love with Google Draw.
Well,
and
I love Google Draw. Google Draw is still my little secret passion.
Oh, yes.
But Google Slides, no. So I tell students that we're going to use elements. The tools on Canva are on the left side of the page. Tools on Google are across the top. So that's kind of one. There are some across the top on Canva, but the ones we really need right now are going to be on the left. So we're going to go, I clicked the Elements tab, and up here where it says Search Elements, you can see my recent searches. Let's pretend I haven't searched for a garden yet, and I can type in garden. Okay, here's your big decision. Are you going to use a photograph or are you going to use a graphic? It doesn't matter, except I think it's a bit more true to the stop motion world if you use a graphic rather than a photo. Photos just look kind of weird because they don't quite mesh with the elements that you're putting in unless you're putting photo elements in. We tend to put like clip art type elements, and it looks kind of goofy with the photo background. But you can decide that on your own time. So I'm going to click open. Oh, let me go back to here. Sorry. I'm going to click open where it says see all. And this shows me all of these different graphics for a garden. I could pick one of those and use that. Like I could pick this and say this is going to be the background for my whole thing. But I don't like it. So I told my students that if you don't find one that you like, scroll down on the left underneath text, go down, 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 down. This is where it says Magic Media. If you can't find Magic Media like this on the side, you would go up above it into the word apps and type in Magic Media. Mine shows up there, but sometimes it doesn't for everybody. So it depends. So I'm going to describe what I want to see. I want to see a garden in the springtime with a sunset and flowers. I don't know. We're going to see. I'm going to click styles, and I want this to be, let me see if I can get this. Oops, no, I don't want psychedelic. I want it to be down here like maybe, well, I could go with gradient. Let's see what gradient looks like. And then I'm going to click generate. So this is a good solution if students can't find what they're looking for. I just say, well, make it up. just go to Magic Media. Okay, so it's going to give me, I'm going to take this, okay, and I'm going to drag this, and I'm going to make this fit my whole screen. It's going to get very, very skewed because I'm going so big with this, but that's okay because I'm going to fill it with other things. Okay, so this background is going to be my background for everything. So I'm going to just leave that alone. Okay, so the beginning is going to be, I need one critter coming in. So I'm going to pick a butterfly. So I'm going to go over here to elements. The elements are your friend. And I'm going to type in butterfly. You're going to get all these different ones to look at. The one I use a lot is this monarch butterfly. It's kind of, it shows up really well. This red one also shows up really well. There's a blue one down here, that one, that works pretty well. It's kind of missing some of its features though, but I like this one. Okay, do you want it in the middle at the beginning? I tell them, no, you don't. Have it come in from somewhere. So I'm going to start down here just to kind of show you. And it's going to be about like there. Okay. Now, you're going to duplicate that slide. You see below where my little running ticker is, I've got one slide down there. If I click that slide, it gets a little purple line around it. Then I go Control D. Look at your commands, Control D. And now I have two of those. You go to your new slide and you take your butterfly or your image and you slightly move it. Okay? Then you go Control D. Take your butterfly or whatever you've got and slightly move it. Mine is getting a little bit larger and moving. Okay, Control D. So you're just going to keep doing this. Now let's say I want to add another element. I'm going to bring in another butterfly. Boom. But it's going to start over here this time. Okay, and I'm going to have it a little bit smaller. Okay, so you can preview what you have. If I go to the beginning now, here's what I did. Watch. I'm just going to click. I'm clicking the arrow to turn my slide. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then you come over to this one. This is where I am. Control D. And now I'm going to move this up and I'm going to move this up. Okay, so this takes a little bit of time. I'm already at slide 5 now. Control D. This is going to get, and you don't, the one thing is sometimes students can get a little impatient and they might start to make too big of a jump. When you go to put it all together, you might need to add a slide in between with a minimum, like a middle jump between a giant jump. I'm going to turn this butterfly a little bit. Oh, let me show you what I did. See this little circle? This allows you to spin things. Okay. So here I am.
Is there a way to make the wings flap somehow?
Unless you find one that's already doing that, there may be some under animation, or you find another image that has that same element open.
Okay.
So, but you'll see, I mean, and some of my students did do that, but let me just kind of cruise through here for a minute here and I'll show you. So I'm going to go here. We're moving you up there. And this one's going to come up here. And I think I want to add a bee, a bumblebee. So I'm going to come over here. I might have looked for one earlier, but how about a little bumblebee? Let's see. Now, here's where you want to be careful. What kind of is your style here? I was using that one earlier. I'll just put this one in here for now. I don't really like the style, but just to kind of show you. This little one I'm going to have coming in from the left up at the top. And we're going to have it facing down. Okay, so here's what I have now. I've got slide 7. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See how things are starting to build. Control D. This one is going to get much bigger and it's going up. This one is also going to get bigger and this is going to move. Okay, so I always tell students when you move, when you're changing slides, most everything is going to move. You've got to make everything get out of the way a little bit, right? And change things up. This one's going to come here and we're going to tilt it down a little bit so it's not going to crash into that other one. This bee is going to be zany, and I'm going to have this bee coming down. It's going to be the crazy bee. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let me go here. So again, you just keep moving. So, here's the thing. You can stop your class and have them share with each other what they've got so far. You can take little breaks from doing this because this took my students, I want to say 2 full days and a half of another day. And our classes were an hour and 50 minutes. But again, that's, you can sort of gauge based on your students and how they, let me see what I have. I might mess this up. Let me see.
Can I
So it's like
Yeah.
5 hours worth of work?
I think so.
can I ask a question? Because I might have
Yes.
missed something.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I'm trying to do this and it's giving me 5 seconds per frame, which is way too long.
Yeah.
And I see on yours, like yours has the 5 seconds, and I click on that and I switch it to, 0.1 second, but it keeps defaulting back to 5, but mine doesn't say animate, where
Don't
yours.
click. Yeah. Don't click animate. I'll show you what to do. Let me get
Okay.
this. I'm just going to go one more slide and then I'll show you. We're going to make this bee is going to come here and get bigger. And this one's going to go up here. And this one's going to get bigger. And I'm going to kind of leave it at that right now, just because of time and wanting you to have time. Okay. Before I put it together with the transitions, we need to add a front and back slide, just add an intro and exit. So if you go to your first slide, if you go between your first and second slide, you see this little plus sign. It says add a page. I'm at the bottom. I'm going to click that. I'm going to move it to the front. You just can pick up, I'm just pressing down and grabbing a slide. If you press down with your mouse and just drag it over. So here's my opening slide. I need to put a background on it. So on the left, go all the way down, down, down to backgrounds. And I can pick this yellow color. I used that earlier. If you want a different color, go to the circle and you can find a different color that matches things, so you can play around with that. I'm going to put a title. So I'm going to click text and I'm going to click add a heading and I'm going to call this Garden Days. I don't like that font and I want it to be white. Your font doesn't have to be white. I just want mine white. So I'm going to click Canva Sans. That's a default font. And the one I like is Apricot. It's one of my favorites. It looks like that. I like that. And I go to the A. I go to the A and I want it white. Oops, well, maybe I want it white. I'm going to highlight it and I want it white. Okay. I'm going to go all the way to the end and I'm going to put an end slide in. I'm going to go to here and I'm going to go to background and I'm going to pick the same color. No, it's not quite the same color, but we'll pretend it is. And I'm going to go to text and I'm going to go to heading and I'm going to say the end. And I'm going to go to here. So I just have kids do this whole thing. With Canva, take a corner, zing, zing, zing. It's so easy. And if you're frustrated, don't worry because this is being recorded and I'll give you all of this. I want one more thing. I want this B. I'm going to copy it. Control C. I'm going to go to the end and I'm going to go Control V. And then I could add on to that if I wanted to. Okay? So to answer your question on the transitions, you go all the way back to the beginning slide. Go up to where it says 5.0. Click that box.
Yep.
Change the timing to 0.2. Click apply to all pages. Boom.
And that's what's tricky is I've been doing that and it keeps defaulting back to 5 seconds.
I don't know why it would.
Okay.
I don't know, but let me see if mine works, then we're in pretty good shape, I think.
Is yours one of the fancier paid ones? I'm just doing
Mm,
the free. Okay.
nope. Mm-mm.
Um,
And my students didn't have trouble with this,
okay.
so it may be something, it could be a kink in your system right now, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. But let me
Maybe it's
just
a
show you.
browser thing. Maybe it
Could,
depends on the
Well,
browser.
I'm actually doing it on an iPad.
okay.
So yeah, which is funny because you keep saying, do command this, and I'm like, okay, yeah,
And
I
you
can't
can't, yeah,
do that, but
yeah,
it's pretty easy to figure out.
yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
probably what it is. If you wanted to, because I do not know the solution for an iPad, but you could search, you could do a search yourself, like on your phone, and
yeah.
just say, how do I use, how do I adjust the timer
No,
on
I mean,
Canva?
it's literally, it's exactly the same as yours. I don't know how much you
Yeah.
can see where, you click on the 5 seconds,
Hmm.
oopsies, and of course it went away when I'm showing you, but essentially it's exactly the same as it looks on yours. It's just
Hmm.
not doing it. So, mm,
The
Interesting.
interface might be different from
Yeah.
yeah.
an iPad to
But
a.
I will say everything that I'm seeing that's you're projecting from your computer is exactly the same in the
Good.
iPad app. So that
Hmm.
I think is a definite benefit where I know a lot of programs will be different,
Yeah.
whether you do it on a computer versus on a phone or an iPad.
Hmm.
So that's a positive where,
Hmm.
if you only have iPads in the classroom, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know why it's not working. I'll restart it.
Well, let me show you a couple things. So when I go to the word present, if you click the little
Yep.
down arrow, it's going to give you a little view here. If I click autoplay, it will show it. So watch. You see? So it just shows you what it looks like. Now you have to realize mine is only like 11 or 12 slides. Okay. But let me show you about
Wait, how
music.
did you do that?
You go next to the word present. You see this little down arrow, that little
Uh-huh.
down V. Sorry, it's not an
Uh-huh.
arrow, it's a little down V. If you click that open, you can click autoplay
Oh, okay.
and it will present it for you so you can see it. Just to see
Okay.
what it looks like. I always have students do that because then they're like, "Oh no, I did all that work and it's just like 10 seconds long." And then. So,
Is that
all
like
right.
a preview
Yeah.
prior to? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So let me show you about music. So on the left, down at the bottom is audio. Okay. So if I click audio, it's going to give me a bunch of different things. So let's say I'm going to search and I'm going to put in here like springtime instrumental. I don't know. Let's just see. Okay. And here are my choices. No, that doesn't do it. You're going to have a gut reaction to your song. No. Like, right? It's just like, no. Springtime romance. No. Garden. No. I don't like any of these.
How about Flight of the Bumblebee?
Oh, that would be good. How
Yeah.
about if I just go piano instrumental, if I can spell it right? But kids have so much fun finding their music. Okay, I'm going to click it. Okay, see down here, it's a purple bar. Do you see this? Drag it, drag it, drag it to the beginning of your slides. Because otherwise, it's not going to be it's not going to be at the beginning. See, I got to drag it a little more. I'm just pressing down and dragging it. And I'm actually going to move this so the music starts right away. Okay. All right. Here's the big reveal. I'm going to go to present. It should have music now. And I'm going to go to autoplay. And let's see what happens. See, mine's so short, right? But that's how music comes in. So when you get it then, oops, sorry, let me get out from there. It kept doing this earlier, didn't want to stop. When you get it done, when students get it done, their last step is to go to the share button up here in purple, and you go down, and you click download, you need to change it to MP4 file. It's going to default to PDF. So click open the little arrow and go down to MP4 video and click download, and you'll have it. And it'll take a minute. You can kind of see it scrolling along the bottom maybe. But that is like, it's a project. And what I wanted students to understand is the amount of time that it takes to create these, because imagine claymation. Every little thing is moved. This is the same idea, it's just digital. Would a hands-on way be more fun? Depends on your class. Would this be more fun? Depends on your class. Could you do them both? Yes. Like if you were teaching a media arts class, I would have them do both.
Why wouldn't you hit animate?
Animate animates your slides, like it moves them. It makes them zip, dissolve in, fade up, fade down. You know when people do whiz bang stuff on presentations and they make
Oh,
a slide transition?
so it's the transition?
Yes.
Okay,
And I've automatically hit that and tried to figure out why mine doesn't play.
got it.
Yeah. So I hope that kind of gives you, here's my one that I did earlier. So I hope that you can kind of see. They can turn out quite lovely and they can be quite fun. And we all need this for the Olympics. So see, anyway, I just wanted you to see those. So I know we don't have like a whole ton of time, but do any of you have questions on this that I could try to answer?
We did just have a question pop up.
Oh, good.
If your students are only one class in, for example, mine are only 30 minutes, does their account auto save their progress until we meet again?
Yes. Yep, that's the beauty of Canva. It
Everything is
auto-saves
auto saved.
on
So you can
Canva.
pop in and pop out and,
Yep.
and pick up where you left off. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
Can you just show me again how to add audio? I'm sorry, my kid
Yes.
interrupted me.
No problem. Oops, that's the one I was going to show you. No problem. Let me come over here to Garden Days. Okay, so what you do is on the left, where your tools are, you go all the way down. Audio is down, 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 down. Underneath photos, there's audio. And when you click that, here, let me click out of there. When you click audio, you can search for whatever vibe you want, right? You can say fun, jazz, instrumental. It's going to just give you some things to listen to. So, you go through them and you find what you like. And when you find the one you like, I can just put one of those in there right now. You see how it adds a purple bar? That's my audio. So I don't want that one in there. I'm going to delete it. But here's one more sort of audio trick when you get everything ready to go. If you click it up at the top, you see where it says fade, beat sync, and all this stuff. If you click fade, you can have it fade in. But remember, this is a very short video.
Yeah.
Don't have it fade in for 10 seconds. You won't have much. You have it fade out, maybe, right? And then remember, it's present, autoplay, right? And then you'll have it. See, so that's just, that shows you how short that is. And that was 12 frames. So. So I hope this has helped you. Honestly, for me, it's really fun. And again, I'm not in animation, I'm not in media, but it's just another way for kids to succeed, right? Because you're going to get the kids that if drawing's hard for them,
Yeah.
right? What we're trying to, I'm reading a book right now called Mattering. Have you heard of it? It's brand new, like You Matter, M-A-T-T-E-R, Mattering. And it always talks about how you know, we value being valued. Our students value being valued. And so I always think about whatever we can do to make them feel included. I mean, we all know that. I'm not saying anything new and earth shattering, but it's just a good reminder that all these different things, as you know, all these different ways. So certain kids going to glom onto something that you had no idea they were going to like doing. So, but I hope that helps you.
Carol Ann raised her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So this I never did Canva before. So this was fun. I made one. It has 9 frames is all. Eh,
Yay!
but I missed the part where you can preview the action.
Oh, I'll show you here. One sec. Let me get back to sharing here. So when you want to preview it, there's a couple ways to go. Either you can just take your finger and look on your keypad and take the little arrow advance key, you know, down at the bottom on the right side of my keyboard, like on
Uh-huh.
like down here. And you can just move forward a slide. Like if I
Okay.
go to here, I can literally just take my finger and just go this way. I'm just
Got
making up
it.
the speed. Like I'm just making up that speed.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
But if you want to go to the actual, I guess, official way, go
Yeah.
to next to the word present up here at the top. There's this little down V.
Oh yeah. I see that.
So if you click that, and you're going to see the word autoplay right
Yeah,
here,
got it.
and that will show you too.
Oh,
And
cool.
so you can click present, and that'll go full screen. So there's just a bunch of different ways, but you know, this is like how you see it all coming together.
Is there a way I can share mine with you guys or no?
Yeah, do you have it downloaded as an MP4 file?
No, I don't. I just have it on the screen.
I can make
Sure,
your
let me get
screen
out.
shareable.
Yeah, let me get out.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd love to see it.
Let me make you co-host,
Okay.
and then you should be able to also share your screen.
Okay. Can you
Ooh,
see that?
yes. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
gosh, look at that.
So
That's
let's see.
amazing.
Let's see if it'll let me do the forward thing.
Oh,
Oh, look
wow.
how fun.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
That is so fun.
My favorite thing.
See, and I would love to see this like for Valentine. I mean, I'm
Wow.
not a big like Valentine's person, but I thought this could be fun. Kids could make little Valentine cartoons,
Yeah.
like stories.
Jane,
Yeah,
you just reminded me that the first time you presented for me, it was for Valentine's Day.
I know. It was
Oh
those
my
digital
God.
quilts. I
It was the
know.
quilting
Uh-huh.
Valentine's hearts in Google
Yeah.
Draw.
Yeah. That's right.
Oh my God.
So I want to tell you, you know what this made me think of? 40 years ago, or maybe more, I was teaching kids summer art classes, and we did one on animation, which was very primitive compared to any of this. But I did the little flip thing, you
Oh,
know, up
yeah.
and down,
Yeah.
and you know that's a. I think that's a great way to start.
Mm-hmm.
And we often did the guy, a, a a boy or a girl dribbling a basketball.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just really typical, but it gives them, you know, really gives them an idea. And back in those days, what I had them do was I had a film strip projector. This is like ancient history. And I had little template skinny strips for the film strip,
Mm-hmm.
and they would draw their picture on there with little Sharpie pens, and then they actually drew them onto the film strip with the
Yeah.
Sharpie pen. And they were so, I mean, you know, kids today would think it was stupid, but back then they were so excited. They made a film, and at the end of the week we had the parents come in with popcorn and we showed everybody's
Oh,
That's
film.
so
wow.
fun.
Cool.
It
That's
was
so
very
fun.
cool. Yeah.
Kids won't think it's stupid. Like,
No.
I
No.
know I've done some, projects, or I know I've done the just it's something I learned from another teacher. It's just two pieces of paper. You have a long skinny piece, you fold it in half, you draw one, you draw the other one underneath, and you curl it and
Yeah,
you roll a pencil over it, if that's the same thing you're talking about.
yeah, that's
I
what we
taught
did.
that to fifth graders and sixth graders literally just a few months ago. They're
Oh,
like,
that was,
oh my
I've
God,
seen,
it's the coolest. Like they
Yeah, they
really
right.
love
think
it.
it's
Yeah.
You
amazing.
have the a bird on one side and the bird cage, and then it
Oh,
spins around and it
yeah.
looks like
Oh,
one
yeah, that's one of the
is in the
optical
other.
illusion ones.
Right,
I forget,
right.
or
Right.
you can like rub it if you like mount it on a pencil. I forget what those are called.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, that's
We
a great thing. Nowadays, you'd have to borrow a film strip projector from a museum.
I know. I know.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
yeah.
That's true. We had a request to Jane to have you show us the thing from Adobe.
Okay.
Oh, look at
Okay.
her.
All
Oh,
right.
she's so
Okay.
excited.
This one, this is so cool. Okay, look. So go to, can you see my address up here in the tab? Go to new.express.adobe.com. Okay, that's the home page. You're going to get to something like this, new.express.adobe.com. And ironically, I got my start wanting to do wanting to do those stop motions because of the animate a character feature on here, which I've done videos on that. That'd have to be another one of your times here, though, Steph, because that takes a little explaining. But let me show you this one. So you may have to go through some hoops to get here. I don't know if you automatically get here, but new.express.adobe.com. Don't put in adobe.com straight off the bat. Got to put in new.express. I don't know why. You'd have to ask Tim Needles. Okay, so, all right. We're going to search templates. If you type in the word plushies, 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 you're going to get all these ones to look at. This is like adorable. You see the one that says Cozy Cocoa.
Yes.
Cozy Cocoa. You're going to click Cozy Cocoa and you're going to customize it. And I'm going to show you how. This is a perfect short activity. You have a screwy day where there's some field trip or some assembly or something off the wall or a zillion hours of rain, and you just want kids to do something quick and fun, quick and fun. Click Customize Template. Boom. Okay. Now, here's the beauty of Adobe. Adobe gives you a little video over here and it tells you how to do this. So watch, I'm going to play the beginning of it. Design your own stuffy.
In this activity, you'll use generative AI to design your very own plush toy inspired by an everyday object that makes you smile. Let's get started.
Okay.
Select the image and open the Generate Image tool.
Okay, so pause. Select the image, open up the Generate Image tool on the left. Boom. Okay. And go back to your video. Kids could do this by themselves if they have headphones too. Okay, we're going to continue. It's going to tell us what to do in the Generate Image box.
Describe your plush toy by replacing the words in parentheses with descriptive words that paint a picture of your idea.
Okay, so stop. Go up here. Here's my prompt. You're only changing what's in the parentheses. Adorable, cute, furry, hyper-realistic plush toy that looks like a... And I told people to think of their favorite dessert. Key lime pie with graham cracker crust. It has very soft fur. Do you want to keep that? I'm going to say very fluffy fur. So this is a little bit of writing, creative writing. And is, what are the colors? Brown, tan, and white? No, I want lime green, yellow, and I'll keep white. Okay? Now you're going to click Generate. Watch this blue button down here. It's thinking. Look at what I get.
Oh,
And look at them. Look at them.
oh,
Look
how
at this one.
cute.
Look at it gives you, oh my God. Like,
Oh
look.
my
So, Steph, this is
God.
why I was totally thinking of you and what you've been sewing. Look at this one. Okay.
Oh,
Then, then you change the other elements. So you click this red tag where it says Cozy Cocoa and give yours a name. I'm going to call mine Lil Lemony. Lil Lemony. Font's too big, so I've got to bring the font size down. See on the left? Here's my font point size. I'm just clicking, 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 clicking to get it to fit. It's almost there. I'll keep your favorite cuddly friend there. But now you want to change the color of that red, right? So you click on the red and you come over here to effects. And it's going to give you some colors. No. Lemon. It'll give you colors based on your thing. That's not enough contrast, is it? I'm gonna go over here. Okay, background. Or no, click the box. Click the box. Go to effects. There's a color. View all. That's a better color for this one.
oh yeah, that
See,
one.
click the background. See how easy this is? Go to effects. View all. Which
Wow.
one looks good, right? See, look. Oh my God, they're so cute. Okay. When you get it done, go up here where it says share, but click the download and download it. These are so fun. I had my students do this again. We're talking about freshman and sophomore in college. You should have heard the giggles, the enjoyment, the pure all out fun. They
You
are the
know
cutest things
something?
ever.
This is awesome, but I am so conflicted.
I know.
Yeah.
And I know you are too, because we both have the same exact background. We spent months designing things and learning the basics of how to do all this. And we have art backgrounds, and then any old Joe can come in and hit a couple of buttons and
Mm-hmm.
they'll boom, you're an artist creating something. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like this whole AI topic makes me crazy
I know.
because it almost makes me feel like, what was all of my training and experience and
Mm-hmm.
education done for? Like, what did I do it
Right.
for? If anybody can come in and hit a button and do what I did in 30 seconds over a course of,
Right.
it's ah
It's a
Uh,
tough call, and for me,
ah
I balance it by saying it is one technique of many in the world of art. One technique of many. It doesn't have to drive your curriculum. It doesn't have to be your only curriculum.
no, it's a tool, and I
You
get
know,
it. I
and
get
and
it,
I
but
totally get what you're saying, and I go back and forth too. And what I find interesting is, I think my husband and I talk about this all the time. It's
mhm.
great for me. It's great for ideation. It's great for if a student's stuck, not to use that as their final, but to use it as inspiration, right? It's kind of that type of thing. It's a fail fast, so you don't spend hours on a rough draft and you have a kid in tears. They can see if something works as a composition. They still have to create it, you know.
I mean,
I have a problem with it because like for I teach K through 8 and I would not want to show this to my kids because it's just another way to show them how they can shortcut through life.
Right.
yes, and how to
Yeah.
cheat,
Maybe
and
maybe at the college level,
Mm-hmm.
okay, because they've already learned the basic skills
Mm-hmm.
beforehand.
Yeah.
that's
But
the exact argument I have
Yeah.
made.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to
AI
I would
is a
not show
great
it through my K
tool
through 8s.
if
Yeah.
you're mature enough to understand
Yeah.
its
Yes.
value.
Yeah.
But anywhere from elementary until high school graduation,
Yeah.
you are not teaching these kids critical thinking
Right.
if you're
Right.
giving them these shortcuts.
Right.
Right.
It's creating a deficit
Mm-hmm.
in problem solving skills that
Right.
they are going to need in the real world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well
Yeah. No, that's
said.
true. Yeah, that's true. And so there's a woman who she's currently the director of the National Gallery of Art. I know we need to go. Her name is Kaywin Feldman. She's the first female director the National Gallery of Art has ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Zoom call with her over winter vacation because her husband, ironically, we found out her husband and my husband's mothers were like super close friends in California a long time ago.
Wow.
Oh,
They
wow.
both since died. So anyway, my husband, they put this all together. So anyway, so I Zoomed with her and it was interesting because it was just a conversation. It wasn't, yeah, really. Oh, I see your comment there, Carrie.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
About a first
Oh
grade. I
my
know.
God.
I know. But I had a comment with Kaywin and I said, what do you have a phrase or just a general statement about what art educators should really hone in on when we're teaching right now, given this age that we're in? And she said, they need to know how to think,
Yes.
right?
I say that
And
all the
yeah.
time.
And so
They
here she
don't
is, the
know
director of the
how.
National Gallery of Art, right? And so
Yeah.
that's why, if you ask somebody why they're doing something, can they tell you why?
No.
Like why? So I know, no, I agree with you. Look, and these are things that are just to me, they're like, this is to me, this is where I struggle with Adobe, just because it's a real quick fix for things. I'm not putting it down. It's got wonderful
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
But for what I know of it, it's not anything that I feel comfortable enough spending time on teaching. Canva is a design app where you are designing things. You are designing a presentation. You can make it look polished and wonderful and lovely.
Yes.
And I know from taking hand lettering courses in Art Center
Oh my God.
what a
Yes.
pain in the neck it is to free draw things. Is that a
Yes.
wonderful skill? Sure.
Yes.
Yes. But we want to teach kids to solve things in a way that also can help them in their future careers. They're not going to all become fine artists, right? So if they're working in a business and a company and they need somebody to design a presentation,
Mm-hmm.
and that kid or that new employee happens to say, I know how to do that, and then it's going to help them in the long run.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I am with that.
I
But yeah.
I think for me, people have mentioned some of the concerns that I also share, but I think I have, two big ones. One is copyright infringement, and
Yes.
also something that I know just working with, middle school, something they're really struggling with is using somebody else's art and claiming it as your own. And something I've been noticing with all the technologies is that, for example, with the one we did tonight, which again, this is a great skill, that people could use
Oh,
when
sorry.
it's
It's okay.
okay. When you're taking, existing images that are not yours and existing, backgrounds and all the things are not yours, a lot of these kids will go, yeah, I made this, and it's like, well, you animated
Mm-hmm.
someone else's art, and I know
Right.
some of them do struggle with that, and I think it's problematic because people can think they're capable of doing things that they actually are not.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I do think, even just having the skills to animate pre-existing images smoothly and believably, that's a skill.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's really important to help teach, kids and adults that you're not an artist per se because you have not created it
Right.
from scratch,
Right.
that you are, using something that doesn't belong to you. And say, if you were to get a job in and actually be doing this and people are paying you money and they're using these images, like there could be legal issues.
Right. Yeah, for
But
sure. For sure. And I think, when you think about film, I mean, this is a whole nother discussion and I know we're going to have to go, but
Mm-hmm.
when you think about film, how there are people that they earn their career is special effects.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those special effects aren't real. They make them look real. So so this starts to kind of blur those lines. I mean, I totally get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. It's hard to balance how
Everything
much
is
of this.
too easily accessible.
Yes. Yes.
And for kids who don't understand the difference,
Yeah.
it's too easy. It's like you tell them to write an essay and they Google blah 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 and they copy and paste everything that came up on the computer and
Oh
said,
yeah.
here's my essay, I wrote it.
Oh yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
Didn't.
did
Yeah.
not.
Oh, I
It's the
know.
same thing.
I
and
know.
and when Jane and I were in the private sector doing graphic design work, it's part of our job to manipulate other people's elements and create, like, we hire photographers to do a photo shoot of a product and then we have to make an ad for it or a catalog or whatever. So it's part of it's the nature of what we did
Yeah.
as a profession
Hmm.
to arrange other people's elements into an aesthetically pleasing, presentable information piece of some
Hmm.
kind.
Hmm.
That's way different than
Yeah.
what the kids are doing now. They're just stealing whatever they see and
Right.
claiming it as theirs because they don't
Yes.
understand
Hmm.
the
That's right.
difference,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what has to be taught. And that's why I keep saying, all of these tools are fabulous. And if you're a designer, if you're in a have your own business and you have to promote yourself, these are all great things. But this stuff has when we have a literacy issue in this country to begin with, you don't hand them another tool for stealing
Right.
and not
Hmm.
teach you. They have to learn how to think, how to
Yeah.
write, how to speak, how to read
Hmm.
first. So my argument is always and will be forever now, do not bring AI or any of this stuff into any school system below college level.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're not doing anybody any favors, and they will not survive the real world when real tasks are expected of them to
Hmm.
prove how they can think,
Yeah. You
because
know what's a
that's what's going to set them
yeah.
apart from all the other people who
Hmm.
want that job.
Yeah. A real good.
Meryl Ann has had her hand up for like 20
Oh.
minutes, so
Oh
I
no.
just,
I
I don't,
because I
yeah,
can't see
I'm
people's
sorry.
hands. I'm
Oh, that
sorry.
that's okay. I just typed it in the chat.
Oh.
I was on James Gurney's blog. You know him. He's the guy who did Dinotopia.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this and everybody was talking about, the product and like you can tell AI, oh, please do a painting of such and such in the style of NC Wyeth and whose feet that's trampling on. And the whole conversation was going on and on about the pros and the cons. And I jumped in. I said, you know what? To me, the conversation and the thing to share with kids is why do we make art? And
Hmm.
it's very patriarchal to focus only on the end product.
Hmm.
And we live in the toxic patriarchy right now. And we might, if we would like to not live in toxic patriarchy, we have an opportunity to take steps to get out of that. And one of the ways is art. And one of the ways of doing that to me is to explain to people it's not about the product.
Yeah.
Guess what? We do art because it changes ourself inside. It gives us joy.
Hmm. Hmm.
It when you're happy, it puts good feelings out into the world. Maybe that's a little woo woo, and you could say it in a better way. But um, when I create artwork, the interesting thing is when I finish it, I sit there and look at it for 15 minutes, and I'm in love with it for 15 minutes, and then I'm done.
And you're ready to start something new and challenge
Exactly.
yourself with it.
Just
Yeah.
like an old boyfriend, toss it aside. And because it's not about the final thing. It was
Right.
about the journey. I mean, sometimes it's a piece of artwork I took a year to do.
Right. That's
It,
right.
So,
it's
Yeah.
about, I just had it in my head and it went right out of
oh
my head.
wait,
Oh, we are completely, we make art. Most of us who are artists make art because we are compelled to do so.
Hmm.
We can't not do it, right? And again, like you said, I as soon as I make something nowadays, I'm in love with it, but I want to sink my teeth into a new thing and make new choices and make new discoveries and experiment with this that I've never used. And these are why we do what we do. And a kid who pushes a button is not going to have that response.
But we can share with them the excitement of another way of
Well,
doing it.
if you're teaching, we have the passion. They can see it when
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
teaching and when we speak about what we're doing. And I'm in the middle of a sculpture project right now, and everything is starting to take shape. And I was so excited in class today and taking pictures of everything the kids are doing. And oh my God, it's now real. We can touch it, we can see it, we can see the shapes, and it's going to be amazing. And the kids are complaining, I don't like mine. And I'm like, wait until you paint it. You'll have a
Yeah.
completely different feeling about it
Yeah.
because you know it's the process. One a decision you made here, you may not like, you know, what it looks like now, but give it a minute.
Yeah.
Sleep on it. Come
Yeah.
back and see it again, you
Yeah.
know.
But I think I'm still admin. I let somebody in because it came up on my screen. I think you have to take admin back.
Okay, I'm taking
Host.
away your
I mean host.
privileges.
Anyway, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to go, and I know
Oh, I'm
everybody's got
sorry.
to go to bed and stuff, but I know I have to go to sleep, even though I'm retired. I have to go to sleep. But anyway, but this was a pleasure, and thank you for having
Thank
me, Steph,
you.
and
Thank you so
happy
much,
to.
Jane. You are
Yeah.
fabulous.
Well,
Absolutely
this was great.
fabulous. And
Yeah. Thank you,
you
everybody.
got such grace and generosity with your experience, and I appreciate you showing up for us today and sharing your
Sure.
time. Thank
And
you.
so I sent you the slide link. You can share that out to people.
Will do.
Okay. Thank you.
Will
Bye,
do.
everybody.
Thank
Thank
you. Sleep
you.
well.
Bye.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Thank you. Bye, bye, everybody.
Bye. She is amazing. She
That
is
was cool.
amazing.
Thank you, Steph. That was so cool.
You're welcome. I
I
couldn't believe when she said it's Valentine's Day, and that was when she first did one for us like 4 or 5 years ago. That's crazy for the timing.
yeah.
Um, how do we want to do this about shit? You know what? If you want her presentation, email me
Okay.
and I will send you guys the link. I think that's the easiest way right now because she said she emailed it to me and I can't get to my email when I'm doing this. So I will put my email in the chat for everybody. MNDNSPIRIT@AOL.com.
I think that, like the skill here, it's useful in certain contexts. So I think,
Yes.
it's beneficial knowledge. But I think it's something people need to be very, very careful of. And I just want to say, I agree that introducing this to students in the wrong context
Yeah, it's
could
not
be
a good idea.
detrimental.
You should
And
hear the fights we get into when every time this topic comes up in faculty meetings at my school. It's like an arguments, debates, back and forth. It's a very passionate subject. It's a very passionate subject.
But and this would also just be considered regular animation. This isn't stop motion animation. That's 3D. That's, when you're moving little figures or flat objects, little bits at a time.
Well, I can see it because it's well, yeah, it depends, I guess, on how many frames and how fast.
Well,
It
no,
looks more
everything's
anime.
like filmed the same. So either on film it's 24 frames a second, video it's 30 frames a second,
Right,
but
right.
stop motion is typically like when you think of Nightmare Before Christmas, something where it's a 3D
Mm-hmm.
um a character. That's what traditional stop motion is, where this would just be considered, how to animate within the program canvas.
Speaking of stop motion, I just saw on social media the Sundance animation or stop motion animation featured film. It's called Playing God. And the entire film incorporates the animators sculpting the
Okay.
characters. So it's all part of the film itself. And the whole idea of the title playing God and that the creators of the characters
Yeah.
are in the scenes. Look it up, you guys. It
Yeah,
was
no, that sounds
pretty
cool.
amazing. Yeah, it was incredible. So, anyone have anything else to share before we call it a night?
I just had another question.
Sure.
Since there's no longer their certificates, and I apologize because I have not emailed you what I use in Vermont
That's okay.
because I never know what to do for PD because we don't have a lot or I've taken a lot of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing with a lot of, art teachers is like we've taken everything we can.
Yes.
Um, oh my God, my mind just went blank. Oh, but I was curious what other states do if like you don't have the formal certificate because I feel like having the certificate just just turning that in as proof that like I attended, that's all they need. So
What does it say normally, your certificate on it?
it just has to say name, date, and how many hours because they track the hours that you put in. So Um, I forget the amount of like PD hours I have to do, but like say it's 30 in three
Right.
years.
Okay.
Um, that's all they care about. And then like, for example, a college course counts for like X number of hours. Like they have this system where like I think if you take two college courses, that is enough PD for like an entire term of your license renewal. And again, I apologize. I don't know any of the details. I was just curious what other states do. Um,
My state, I just need a certificate like you, just saying I was
yeah,
there, date, the name of the workshop, the
yeah.
amount of time. I have a lifetime certificate, so I don't have to turn that
Oh, no.
in. I do have to turn in for the state just a list of my professional development. I'm required by the state every year. I don't know if anybody has ever seen it, looked at it, whatever. For career ladder, there's some more specifics that I have to have.
And what
Um,
state are you?
I'm in Missouri.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
You know
Um,
what? Over the break, because I think we're all on vacation this week, aren't we?
Yeah,
You don't have President's Week off? Okay. Sorry.
believe me, I wish I
Sorry.
did. The kids have
Uh,
been stinkers this
all right.
week.
I'm off this week.
Okay.
If I get a chance, I will create a certificate for you guys for my sessions, my art club sessions. It'll have my art club logo on it, and I'll leave room to type in the name of the workshop, the date that it was on. I'll have my signature, and I'll send it to you guys, and you can print them out and fill them out and hand them in. How's that?
That is
Yeah.
perfect. I
And I
appreciate that.
and I'm still happy to send you just examples of what I have submitted that have been approved, but it's really they just need proof with a signature and the amount of hours and date and name. Like,
Okay, I'll create one because
yeah.
this isn't the first time it came up, and
Okay.
ever since, I was so happy when I was able to offer the CTLE credit. No problem. I'm happy to do it. But when I lost the CTLE stuff, they were giving certificates with the accountability for the hours for New York City as well. But I'll just do this for you guys so that from now on, anybody that asks me, just email me and I will send it right
And
out to you.
just a heads up, just so that you don't get in trouble, is that when you instead of doing a blank one, it might be better to cover your butt to
Mhm.
do specific ones and you create it for each workshop. Otherwise, you
Oh
could
no, that's
literally.
what I was gonna do.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
good.
no,
At
I was
that,
gonna leave it
for,
blank for
for
your
our name.
name.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will have my signature included on it. I will have it
Okay.
specific
That's
to
good.
each
That's what I was
workshop
gonna
that I
suggest. Okay.
do with the logo on it. Like I'll make it, I
Okay.
used to do this for a living, so I'll make it official
Yeah. Okay.
looking
Cool.
for you.
Could
No
we get one
problem.
for the Mary Blair presentation as well?
So you want Mary Blair?
This the second one, the first one, I think you offered CTLE credit, but that's when
Yeah,
there
and
was
then
the
they didn't
switch.
let
The
me.
second one, we couldn't get the CTLE credit.
Okay, so Mary Blair part 2. And then this one, right?
Yes,
Canva.
because
And
I've got to have
so,
a
Oh,
hundred
what was
hours.
last week? And TJ, right?
yeah,
I got to
I
have a
think
hundred
that's
hours this school year for
Okay.
career ladder, and every
wow.
little bit will help.
So
Yeah,
you can do it in 1.5 hour increments, right? Okay, so no problem. Um, so do me a favor, email me so that I can just email you with the attachment when I have them done. How's that?
awesome.
Okay?
Thank
Anybody
you.
who needs it,
Thank
do
you.
that, and I'll announce that from now on at all future sessions that I can do that for you guys, because that's only fair. I mean, you're sitting here with me, you
Awesome.
should get the credit.
Thank you. And then I mean these are great. Like, yeah.
Thank
So
you.
yeah.
I'm running out of facilitators, so if
Well,
anybody wants to run the
I
session,
I have been trying to think of different things. I feel like every time I think of something, somebody else does a project that I've seen that I've had success with.
okay.
But some of the stuff that I could do, we wouldn't be able to do it sitting here together. Because I tend to do like bigger long-term projects.
That's okay. If you want
So,
to do a
okay.
presentation and take us through your process
Okay.
and maybe create a step-by-step instructional video kind of a thing and
Okay.
show us a sample, that works too. Because not everybody sits here and does, make-alongs. Some people just
Okay.
watch and then they go back and watch the video later and make it while watching the recording. So any way you want to logistically figure it
Okay.
out, when you come up with an idea, just let me know.
Okay. And are people here mostly interested in stuff for middle and high school? Because I know a lot of my background's elementary, so
We can do all levels.
okay,
I
cool.
mean, to be fair, yeah. I mean, I tend to think middle and high school because that's my experience.
Hmm.
But I know a lot of you guys are elementary, and if it's something really cool, it could probably, oh, look, everybody's elementary today.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
so
Okay.
any project can pretty much be scaffolded and elevated or, to whatever level
Okay.
is needed. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. I'll have to, yeah, I'll go back through because right now I'm working on going through all my teaching stuff because I don't have a job. So,
Mhm.
and just updating my online portfolio and some
Well,
other
this
stuff.
might help.
Well, I was gonna say I'm kind of like, oh, I forgot I did that project and I forgot I did this. And some of them are very, easy because they're elementary, so they're like 2, 3 days, they're simple things, but um, yeah.
If you did one of these sessions, you could add a link to your resume or your cover letter to whoever you're sending it to so they can watch you teaching and presenting and
Oh,
then
that's a
look
good
good for
idea.
you too.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good idea.
Any way I can help, it's part of your
Oh,
portfolio. You're gonna present here. It's like teaching a workshop at a conference. It's the same thing. So it's definitely added to your resume once you do it and keep the link to the video, or I could even send you a copy of the video or a link to it,
cool.
and then you can download it so you have it yourself.
Cool.
Sure.
Thank you. Sorry, I don't want to keep people,
It's okay.
but
We're all learning
yeah.
while we're talking, so it's okay. No problem.
And I'm visiting my daughter.
Anybody else have a question or can I help with something else? Nope. Okay. I think our next session is March 5th. We're going to have happy selfie sculptures. And I think that's an elementary level project. And that's with Kelly Holmes, who's also a friend of mine who I met through here, but then met in person at a conference. So that's awesome. She's great. She was supposed to do it last month, but she had a thing, so we gave her a different date. So she'll be back with us on March 5th, and In the meantime, if you have President's Week off, enjoy it and get your rest. And if you don't, that totally sucks, and I'm sorry. Oh, and if you'll be at any NAEA, have a really, really great time. Yes, every session is recorded and they are all posted on YouTube by end of the by the following weekend. So if it's Thursday, by Sunday night, it should be posted, if not before. So I would check. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're certainly welcome. Have a really, really great night, everyone. And I was so happy to see everyone and have your support. It's truly appreciated. Thank you so much. And if you know anyone who wants to do a session, have them contact me because I need to line up some more people for the rest of the school year. Okay?
Well, thanks.
Maybe I can convince my mom to bring up one of her old school projects from when she was teaching, and that would be fun if you could do a lesson. We'll talk.
I'll think
We'll
about
talk.
it.
We'll
I'll think
talk.
about it.
Okay. All right. No pressure. All
I
right.
keep getting requests from my fellow residents here to do my art teaching again.
Oh, a collaborative art idea. Well, let's think about that. All right. If you have ideas, email me. Otherwise, have a good end of week and weekend, and I will see you guys in March. Good night, everyone.
Talk to you soon.
Good night.
Good night.